We disappeared.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of OpenLab. Hope you don't hear my dog slurping in the background. He just got back from a walk, so.
Hello, everyone.
Noisy drinker. So anyway, yeah, welcome, Kim, Andrea. Good to have you back. Good to see you.
Yeah, always.
Always.
So yeah, we don't have a guest today, but if you have questions, get those into the comments field on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get to those. And what else we got, Kim?
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but today is National I Want You to Be Happy Day. Isn't that a great thing to celebrate?
Yeah.
It really is. And we care about you guys, and we certainly want to make you happy. So on behalf of Inventory Lab, here you go. Jeff, cue it up.
Okay. So I asked Dalton about this.
All right.
Man, a few words, but he agrees to be happy. So that's the best I could do for something related to him agreeing. Most of the time he's punching people. So
That's true. That's true. He's a busy man. So
yeah.
All right, guys. So if you have ever watched OpenLab before, we always give away IL swag at the end of the show, and we make you work for it a little. If you're new here, welcome.
Little cheer for the swag. Sorry, Kim.
Yay, the swag. So basically, we just ask you to answer a question in the comments section. And once you do, your name is automatically entered into the drawing. So in honor of National I Want You to Be Happy Day, just tell us what makes you happy. Make sure you add hashtag happy to the comment, and you will be automatically entered. That's it. Keep it PG, of course, but all you need to do is just tell us what makes you happy, along with hashtag happy, and your name will automatically be entered into the awesome swag drawing.
Nice. So what makes you happy?
Yeah.
So don't be shy with your questions, and don't be shy about telling us what makes you happy, guys. Anything.
What makes you
With
happy?
hashtag happy. I'm glad you added that to the notes, Jeff, because I forgot.
What makes you happy?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Like, what? Who are you talking to? Well, I actually am going to second Gentry, my kids, and my husband.
Oh, yeah.
My family. Everybody in my family. I'm going to keep changing my answer. Everybody in my
Yeah.
I mean, lots of things. I know it's hard. If you guys want to pick more than one, pick more than one. If it's
Don't forget that
family
hashtag.
and work, let us know.
Hashtag happy.
Yep. Hashtag happy.
How about you,
and tell us
Andrea?
what it is.
What makes me
Dave.
happy? Oh man,
The California.
I'd say traveling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Makes me happy. I'm a very low stress traveler. I just go with the flow. So
That's nice.
how I am. Yeah.
So you're not like
Traveling,
me, and
definitely.
you don't pack as if there's a chance that you're going to be stranded for 2 to 5 extra days.
That's what I do.
That's
No,
how I
I
pack.
Yeah.
If I go for an overnight, I pack for 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
never-
goodness.
You never
never
know what's
know.
going to happen. You
Yep.
could get stranded.
We've got sunshine here in Milwaukee too, so it's nice and sunny
Nice.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's above
in
30
Tulsa.
with 34 degrees out, so getting
Dave,
warmer.
I'm curious, where in California are you? Or just, like a region. You don't have to tell us your address or anything, but just you can tell me the city or the region, the area. I'm just curious where you are in California. I'm going to be taking a trip out there in the fall, and I'm really excited about it. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I love California.
I do too. And I didn't think I would, but my brother was stationed out in Monterey for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go out there twice, and we, did the drive along Big Sur, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
South Cal. Okay, just outside of LA.
Just
Okay.
outside of LA.
I will not be going to LA or anywhere near LA, but
Yeah, avoid that traffic.
Oh, I love
All
LA.
right.
I don't care. I love it.
Have you been, Andrea? Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you live there? Did you
Tons
ever
of
live there?
times. No, I've never lived there, but I have friends who live there, so I just have I
Nice.
have a place to stay whenever I go.
That's awesome. Yeah,
That's
unfortunately, my brother's not there anymore, so I don't know anyone out there.
I jumped the
right.
gun on Kim's
That's
Corner,
time
but here we
again.
are. Yeah.
All right. I know I missed you guys last time. I didn't have anything. I mean, I wasn't on, so I had nothing to talk about. So today on Kim's Corner, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite topic, taxes. Yay. Seriously.
Necessary evil.
I know, right? I cannot believe we're almost at the end of Q1. I mean, it just flew by. And now for most of us, the IRS filing deadline is going to be Monday, April 18th. So this would apply to individual taxes, small businesses, C Corps, independent contractors, sole proprietors. And the reason for this is because Washington, D.C. is celebrating Emancipation Day on Friday the 15th. So you get a little bit of a break. And if you live in Maine or Massachusetts, you'll actually have until Tuesday, April 19th, due to the Patriots Day holiday on the 18th. So, and if you request an extension, you have until Monday, October 17th to file. So today, I basically just wanted to give you a short list of what you can do or what you should know to prepare your taxes this year. If you've already filed, of course, this information is absolutely useless. And also know that I'm super impressed that you're that on top of things. But for the rest of us slackers, these are a couple of things that you might need to know. Don't file if you're not ready. Excuse me, I'm a little froggy. If you're not ready to file, don't file. If it means you have to wait a little longer, then so be it, because better that you're prepared in filing a little later than you wanted. So just make sure you have all your documentation you need. If you work for someone else, make sure you have it from your employer. If you work for yourself, make sure if you deal with contractors that you get documentation from them, from your financial institutions for things like mortgage payments, personal loan interest, if applicable. Documentation from educational institutes, if applicable. So like if you're going to college, you have a child who's going to college, sometimes you'll get paperwork from them, especially if you've got, student loans. Some of the forms that you may need to complete your taxes are, of course, W-2s, which is, your income, 1099s, which would come from banks, issuing agencies and other payers, including unemployment compensation, dividends and distributions from a pension, annuity, or retirement plan. You might need Form 1099-IN for interest payments. You might need Forms 1095-A, B, and C, which are for healthcare information. And you might need Letter 6475, which is the 2021 Economic Impact Payment. And that's to determine eligibility to claim the recovery rebate credit. So this is by no means an exhaustive list. And if you have any questions or you need to find out more about these forms and how they apply to you, you can either go to a tax professional or go to irs.gov. Now, this is kind of cool news. The IRS has actually provided some alternative help solutions this year. Beginning on January 31st, taxpayers can now complete Form 9000, Alternative Media Preference. And that means you can download it as a PDF. It's a form that helps you choose how you receive your IRS tax notices. So you can choose Braille, large print, audio, or electronic formats. And this includes notices about additional taxes or penalties owed. And taxpayers can include the completed form with their tax return. You can mail it as a standalone form to the IRS, so you don't have to mail it with your taxes. Or you can call 800-829-1040 and advise the IRS of your preferred format. And for what it's worth, I cannot believe the IRS is just getting around to providing these alternative solutions.
Yeah.
But there you are. And again, for any information, including that phone number or that form, any forms that you might need answers to, just visit the IRS website. It has a wealth of information. And the last thing I just wanted to tell everyone is be prepared to wait. You probably already all know this, but especially in the past 2 years, the IRS has experienced even more short staffing and delays than usual because of COVID. And it doesn't appear the situation is any better. So while you absolutely, we all need to file and pay by the given deadlines, be prepared for processing and refund delays. The best way to avoid extended delays is just file as early as possible And if you're due a refund, choose direct deposit, if at all possible, because that's the quickest way to get your money. So now, of course, everybody's personal tax situation is different. If you're like me, my tax situation is pretty straightforward. I have a mortgage, child tax credits, I don't itemize, and I don't own a business. So I can just file it online myself using tax software. But for those of you who own one or more businesses, or have employees, you may own multiple properties, or you might have unique dependent situations, you know how complicated it can get. So I would strongly recommend that if you're not already doing it, if you don't have a simple situation like I do, hire a tax professional, because they can not only walk you through all your credits and deductions, but they can find you ways to save significant amounts of money. Like, they'll tell you things you didn't even know existed. It's definitely worth paying someone in those circumstances, because if you ever get audited, your tax professional will represent you when dealing with the IRS, and that alone is worth the cost, especially because entrepreneurs are usually at a higher risk for audits than individuals who don't own a business. And I can tell you that I was audited by the IRS once a couple years ago, because
Wow.
I thought it would be a great idea to start itemizing things. And that turned out to be a terrible idea for me, because again, my tax situation isn't that complicated, and I should have just taken the standard deduction. And so they audited me. They wanted to, they were on top of it. They're like, "Hey, so you've never itemized this stuff before or claimed it. What's up?" And it was for the most part painless. The person I dealt with at the IRS was very nice, very good at communicating, but it's not something I would recommend to anyone. So just keep that in mind. And that is it for this week's Kim's Corner.
Wow, auditing right off the bat when you itemized. Man, that's unlucky.
Wow.
Well, I had been reading some stuff and going, oh, I use this for work and I use that for work.
Yeah.
And then and I was like, oh, maybe I should itemize. It was a terrible idea. And I will never do it again.
Yeah, if you don't own a business, that standard deduction is so high, it's pretty tough to itemize.
It is.
Really.
And Mitch has a really good point. He said, hire a good accountant who stays very current with the rules, because
Yeah.
if you guys don't already know this, the IRS changes. It's like Amazon. They can just change things, and it's up to you to know, or it's up to your tax professional to know. The IRS is not going to call everybody or send something out and going, hey, we changed this. I mean, most of the time you can find things out through the news, social media, because usually, tax changes do make the news, but there's no guarantee that you're going to hear it. So if you have a tax professional, make sure that they are staying on top of everything. That's really important.
I read through this before we started, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. So, because you always have to wait for a letter to come from the IRS, that kind of thing. And so I got it, down past their intentionally left blank stuff. And it's like an audio file using text to speech and delivered on a USB flash drive. Still, they still have to mail you something, and a text file, USB flash drive.
Yeah.
It's like, so they're, I guess, kudos for trying other formats, but
yeah.
Come on.
That's how the IRS is, though. They're very behind in technology.
Yep.
And everything is done by mail. Remember, if you ever receive a phone call from someone who says they're from the IRS, they are not from the IRS.
They're not from, exactly. They will
Not
always
email either. Yeah, they won't do that.
Yeah,
either.
no email.
Yep, keep that in mind, everyone, too. Yeah, just know that they just don't call. They just don't.
That's probably good. I'd hate to get that call anyway.
Yeah. So if you get
exactly.
if you get that call where there's an automated voice saying something about the IRS, or your social security number has a warrant out for, it's all scams.
I talked to somebody that called me once, and I picked up, and she had an accent, and she was talking about that we owed the IRS money, and I need to buy a gift card, and I started kind of toying around with her, and at the end of it, when she realized that I was on to her scam, she threatened to come and bomb my house. I was like, whoa, that escalated quickly. So, all right, well, I guess we're done.
Wow, Jeff.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy.
First, you have to find me, because then we were full-time RVing. So good luck. But
yeah. And I assume you had a cell phone,
Yeah.
You could look me up in the white pages.
Yeah. All right. What we got for books keep?
Okay. Oh, I love this. I'm so excited about this. So this is some really exciting news about our good friend Cindy Thomas and A Book's Keep. She has a new book coming out. It's released on May 4th. One of the best titles I've ever heard. Motherhood, apple pie, and all that happy horse shit. Business is personal. Love that. Love that.
That is
So she
good.
describes the book as follows. As a mom, you can have it all, and it's better when you do, using your personal values to create the business of your dreams. By the end of this book, you'll be confident in designing a business that supports your family and yourself. So if you go to Cindy's website, which is just cindythomason.com, you can get pre-order updates. You can just sign up for, put your email in and your name, and you can get pre-order updates if that's something that you're interested in. But I was so excited. And Cindy has other books too. So go to her website, or the Books Keep website, and you can find out all about it. Always check out her blog. She's got a blog for Books Keep and a blog on her personal website. Always tons of great information for business owners and e-commerce in general. So yeah, I know, right, Chrissy? Like I'm so excited for her.
I'll definitely
Yeah,
be
she's
getting a
awesome.
copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pre-order
Yeah,
it today.
first,
You
yeah.
can pre-order it.
There's the big one.
All right. Yeah, that's good news. I'm glad she's kind of branching out. So that'll
Me
be
too.
interesting.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
she's done something a little more personal. I think that's great.
Yeah, she's always helpful. So, all right. Let's see. What do we got for product updates? We had a pretty major one came out.
We did.
So that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Storage limits.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So now when you're in Inventory Lab, you can select a toggle to show your storage limits right down there, and
Right on the list page, list tab.
under your settings, under the list tab, you can go to restock limits, storage volume limits, and we know a lot of people have unlimited, but if you still want to have that turned on, you can also select unlimited. But here you can put your how many units and how many cubic feet you have for your standard size and your oversized limits as well.
And if you don't know where to find that, just click right here. We've got a handy link in each section. So when you click there, it takes you right to your page, and at the bottom, just expand these two, and then it shows you your limits, and then you can just fill those in. So
yeah. So it's a nice tool. So it avoids those error messages that people get sometimes when they're over storage limit for a flammable item or for your standard size, your oversized non-sortable. It's called and sortable. So this can avoid those awful error messages that we all love.
yeah, because usually those would come when you're trying to create the shipments, and so you'd create some and it'd be fine, and then you go to create that third or maybe it was fourth shipment, and then you'd get the error message saying you're over limit. Well, the only way to fix that, we talked about it in a previous episode, was you have to delete the shipments you've already created, close the batch, restore it, take those items out, adjust your batch, and then try it again. So this way. So I'll just demo. So let's say I have 1,000 there, or 100 there. And then, of course, like Andrea said, if you're unlimited, you can check that. You won't get any alerts. But if you want us to alert you as you're adding, you want to make sure you turn that on. And then, let's see. We just add a bunch of standby folders. So I'm just going to add, 3,000. And it's going to tell me, here's the alert. So you have exceeded following storage limits. I can edit the quantity. I can remove the items from the batch, or I can just keep going. If I want to disregard it, we give you that option too. Just keep going with the listing. So pretty simple. But if you don't want to have those alerts, you can turn those off too. Just go to settings again and list. turn that off. But
Yeah.
also
So it's a
what
nice
happens
stopgap.
is, what was that?
It's a nice stopgap that we have, built
Yeah.
into our system now, where you can adjust it yourself, and it's amazing. I'm so
And
glad
then
we
on the
finally
main
got
page,
storage limits.
yeah. And then on the main page, you can mouse over each section as you start adding to the batch, and it'll tell you where you're at. So pretty handy. And if you don't want to see it, just collapse it, but it's there. And then this will also work. Well, I can't get rid of that. There.
There you go. It carries over to the other batch.
Yep. Just as soon as you click on the batch, there it is. Shows you how many you have in there. So yeah, pretty handy. And if you want to know about dealing with quantity limits, Jungle Scout had a pretty good article recently on February 25th. That'll handle the Amazon quantity limits in 2022. And so they go into great detail about this. So how to improve your score, those sorts of things. And so just go to Jungle Scout and then search for that article on quantity limits. And it's pretty helpful. I thought it was pretty interesting, all the stuff that they did in there. So there you go.
Very cool. We also have another product update.
Yeah, go ahead.
Coaching. Yeah, so Inventory Lab, we're going to be starting new small group lessons where you can sign up and learn more about getting started with Inventory Lab, and it's called Customer Coaching. So it'll be not a one-on-one, but it will be a group of users with one of our team members, and we'll walk you through different aspects of our platform, such as listing, best practices for accounting, and other features of our platform, how to set up your best settings and all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for that. We don't have an official start date yet, but we're thinking more in April. So we'll be sending out information on how to get signed up for those classes. And so keep an eye out for when we make that announcement. It's going to be pretty cool.
It is really cool. And I can tell you, as someone who did kind of like a test run with one of our awesome CCs, it's really cool. I thought, Meg did a great job. It was so informative, and it was so nice to have, that time where you can ask questions. And, something like this, I mean, hopefully we give you guys, some good information, but sometimes we can't answer every question, or, sometimes, maybe if you don't ask a question, and I don't know, like you're waiting for somebody else. Some people don't like to reach out, and sometimes they're just waiting to see if anybody else asks the question, and this way it's a small group, and any questions you have or anything that you want someone to walk you through, they can do that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting it started. Yeah, every week there'll be different classes, so you can sign up for them. Mm-hmm. Either follow them in order, or bounce around to see which ones you want. And like Andrea said, it'll be a live class, interactive. So yeah, we'll demonstrate the stuff. It's not going to be a general question and answer like OpenLab is. So the questions will have to be kept to the topic.
Right.
So,
there'll be certain topics. Yeah.
And it's not a replacement for support, because if you have issues with your account, we're not going to address that in there, because we'd have to reveal all of your information. We're not going to do that. So that's why support is for. So, but yeah, it should be good.
But that's the cool thing, is if you see that you'll see the topics, so you'll know exactly what, you sign up for the things that you're interested in. I mean, if you're kind of new and you just want to know, you just want someone to walk you through a batch, start to finish, there might be a class for that. So
yeah,
it definitely will be.
Yep.
All right, it's time.
Yay.
Ooh.
What we got?
Support. So today we're going to be going, I know. Today we're going to be going over how to write the best ticket that you possibly could to open with us, so we can help support you as much as we can and to eliminate going back and forth, you know, because we do offer such detailed support. We rely on your tickets, so we rely on all the information that you provide us. So accessing the support, you just go to the support tab, and then up pops up our little bot. There's Jeff typing in my inventory total is incorrect. So the Inventory Lab bot will give you some articles that might be related to your issue. And if it's not, there'll be an option for you to get in touch. And there you can leave a message with us. So we do like for you to put your email address on, because sometimes the email address that you email us with is not always associated with your account. So we always want you to put the email address that's associated with your account, so we can pull up everything and actually research your issue. And then anything that you can include in the subject, that's also awesome, to go to kind of summarize what your ticket will be about. And then say, okay, so Jeff's inventory isn't syncing, but it's only 2 ASINs. So we would want to know what 2 ASINs they are. So it does say optional, because we don't, not every single ticket is going to require an ASIN. But right here, if you could put in the ASINs, it just helps us research your account much more. Any screenshots that you can provide as well, batch name, any MSKUs, and then attachments is where you can add any screenshots that you'd like to take and provide us. Also, we love screen recordings. One resource that we use a lot is Loom. It's a free platform where you can record. You can take screen recordings, and they'll provide you with a private link, and you can also include that in your ticket to us. That is, I believe it's just loom.com, right?
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Yeah, so loom.com. Free software, super awesome, web-based. I think all you need to do is give them your email address, and there you go. You can try it you can get Loom for free. But if you have a bigger company, you can also get it for your company too.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. Yep.
Yeah, so the more detail you provide on a ticket, the faster we'll be able to answer your question. And we are able to look at your logs of your account and everything, but the more information that you provide our support team, the easier it will be for us to get to the bottom and troubleshooting your issue. So we really depend on that extra information. Anything that you can provide, we appreciate it, even if you think it might not be related or not. We would, we really appreciate that coming with your issue, because that helps us get to the bottom of your troubleshooting your issue much better and faster. So
yeah, like we'll use something that doesn't happen all the time, but we do get cases like this where they'll mention 2 ASINs or 2 MSKUs that are giving them issues, but there's nothing listed here. So like Andrew said, we got to send an email, ask what they are so we can look it up, and then get a reply. Whereas if we had that information, we'd already be working on it, and your next email would be possibly a resolution or some more information. So very helpful.
Yeah, and we understand it can be frustrating, but the more information you provide us, we promise the faster your support will be taken care of. So it's less back and forth. So that's all we have for Tales from Support.
All right, on to Amazon News. Let's see. Still haven't gotten any updates on his yacht and what the status is there for the bridge. But
Yeah, no updates.
I wouldn't mind throwing an egg or two.
Eh,
If you aren't familiar, Jeff Bezos is having a yacht built in, where is it, Denmark, I think, or somewhere over there?
that
I
sounds
think
right.
it's Denmark. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's too big to go through the channel, so they got to dismantle a bridge. And so people have started this Facebook page to sign up to go down there when it's done, so that they can throw eggs at the yacht as it leaves, because they don't want that bridge dismantled. It's a landmark for the city. So
Yep.
Like,
anyway,
why are they dismantling the bridge? Why? I mean, anyone else, wouldn't they just tell them, no, your boat's too big? Go away.
Yep.
yeah, you'd think. I guess
Not
he's
if
going
you're
to
the
pay for
richest man on
everything,
the
but-
planet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having that much money that people will just dismantle
No.
a bridge for you?
No, I
cannot
can't
imagine that.
imagine.
He'd have no privacy, even on the yacht. So
The
Amazon
Bachelor
started.
yacht.
Yeah, exactly. So I almost said The Bachelor started. So Amazon started a sponsored discount if you do merchant fulfillment. So if you go to the Amazon site and just search for sponsored discount shipping, you can get discounted shipping rates for shipping merchant fulfilled products. They've got a couple links here for the discount itself. Kind of just goes into some details, and then it'll also tell you some of the options that are available. But I thought they already gave a discount for this, but perhaps they didn't. So anyway, they're starting that up now, and it's got a bigger list because it used to be just UPS, and then I think FedEx was in there for a while, but then they stopped, and now they've got DHL in there and a couple of other shipping services. So kind of expanding their reach, give you a better discount depending on where you are. So that's good. And then another thing Amazon is doing is get to the right. Can't find the list. We just close some of these tabs. Have too many, which is a problem for me. It's bit me now here in OpenLab. I have too many tabs always. So Andrea can vouch for that. She knows.
Yep.
Yeah. So Amazon, they're going after the fake review brokers now as well. So they're trying to get some of these brokers who sell reviews for products. So they've actually filed lawsuits now up in Seattle. So it'll be interesting to see how that, turns out. I thought they banned a bunch of companies, didn't they, for the same?
I
I thought
so,
that was
yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
So I guess they're stepping it up a little.
Yeah, it's scary.
And then if you want assistance from Amazon in building a brand, they have come up with, let's see if I can find it here. There we go. Come up with a little handout that's guide to building your brand in Amazon store. And I'll put that in the chat. It's a pretty interesting handout. It goes into great detail about building a brand on Amazon. I thought it was pretty handy. So some of you that if you're kind of getting into the brand building phase of your business, maybe this might help provide some information. But then it involves, brand registry where you can just be the only one on the listing and keep it just to your stuff instead of having people hijacking your listings and those sorts of things. So let's see. The other thing we had interesting news about Target and also eBay. eBay dropped to below 5%. They were up to 10% as of 10 years ago, and now they've dropped to 5%. So with all these other giants encroaching, I guess it's eating into their share as well. But I think eBay still has quite a bit of value for used items and those sorts of things. I mean, it just sold this used camping coffee maker thing on eBay, so you can find all
That's
kinds of
awesome.
weird stuff on there. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
what
how
I
many
like
of
about
our
eBay.
the weird stuff you can find.
Yeah, especially that you can get around like the IP, intellectual property,
Oh yeah,
sometimes by getting like, uh, fake sandals, fake Gucci, fake Hermes sandals. That's where I got mine from. So it's from
yeah. Or I want to sell my Nikes that I've just bought. You can get on there and sell them.
It's a replica, they say. Replica.
Replica, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
There
word.
you go. And then something else that Amazon is doing that kind of thought was nice is for their hourly employees, they're partnering with more than 140 universities to fully fund tuition there. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And I didn't realize they have 750,000 hourly employees in the U.S. alone. So that's quite a few. I know when we were full-time RVing, we were seeing their fulfillment centers all over. So, I mean, they're everywhere. So I guess that makes sense.
Did you visit every single fulfillment center? Make a little trip, get a little
should
pin
have.
for every one that you
I should
visit?
have done that. I didn't want to, since we work in it all day, I was just like, oh man, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I don't want to see how it works. But yeah, so that's kind of it for what I have for news.
Oh, did you want to talk about the Target?
I was going to, but then I read and it's like, well, it's been around. I don't know why this article even popped up as something new. So, but Target has their own marketplace for sellers, but it's invite only. So their market share is pretty low. So I thought, but if you want to look it up, Target has an invite only marketplace. So
for Target Plus, there are only 450 sellers on there right now. So
when you guys said that, I thought it was a mistake. I'm like, what do you mean 450?
No,
I guess it's invite only, and they're just kind of. I think they're just testing the waters. So
it's the Raya of e-commerce,
Yeah.
Raya is that really extreme. It's that dating app for famous people.
Oh, is that what that is? I had never heard of that.
Yeah, Raya.
All right. Okay, so we don't have any quick tips this time, but we can hop into Q&A.
Yeah, we got some questions for sure.
All right. So you want to start at the top?
Yeah.
See what we got?
Let's start with, so Coach jumped right in. And I hope you're still here, Coach. So how come when I enter a replenishment and a date, it changes the pricing on orders beyond that replenishment date? It should only change pricing on orders from that date, not before.
Yeah, so when you send in or put an item in a batch that's a replenishment and you're going to send the feeds for that, the list price that you list, that will change in Seller Central to the current list price. So if you have an item on there selling for $15 currently, and you want to keep it at $15, you need to make sure you list the replenishment at $15 as well, because if you list your replenishments, maybe you got a better deal on them. So you want to sell them maybe for, $10 because you're still going to make the same amount. Make sure that until you run out of your current supply, that you list those also at 15, because if you listed them at 10, it would change the current list price to that MSKU to $10. So, and that's just the way the Amazon feeds work. If you want to change the price specifically for items, on the fly, then you got to go to Seller Central. But if you're using the batch feeds, it's going to change that current list price. So there's really no way around that. It'd be nice if it was tied to the number of items, but that's not the way the Amazon feed works. So, yeah.
Okay. And just a real quick reminder for anyone who maybe came in late or didn't hear at the beginning, if you want your name entered for a chance to win some IO swag at the end of the broadcast, just answer the question, what makes you happy, in honor of I Want to Make You Happy Day. Just tell us what makes you happy with hashtag happy in the comments section, and your name will automatically get entered. Coach says he or she is talking about accounting reports and referring to the buy cost on those reports.
Oh, the buy cost, not the list price. Okay.
So let me read the question again. The date it changes the pricing or the buy cost on orders. Okay, it could be because of the quantity that we're showing. Because we base, if you had, say you had 10 items in for the first time you sent it in, and then you've got this replenishment of 20 more items, and they're at, say, $15. We're going to wait until those first 10 are done, and then we'll switch to the buy cost. But if you go to that item, you can see it on the replenishment page. So you just go to the item on your main inventory page and click on it, and then it'll take you to a replenishment page where you can see the different times you've sent that in, and it'll be listed there, the cost that we're using. But if it's not displaying correctly in your sales, just a matter of backtracking and finding out how many sales you've had for that item. But probably for this one, we'll need you to fill out a support ticket so we can go into your account and see it specifically. And then we'll have to go backtrack on your sales, or maybe there were refunds. There could have been some reimbursements, those sorts of things. So those can all affect how many you have available. But yeah, you're right. It should be tied to just that replenishment sequence. So.
Okay. And Coach says, I'll probably need to contact someone on this LOL for better explaining my issue. So absolutely, Coach, reach out to support at support@inventorylab.com, submit a ticket, and I'm sure we can walk you through that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just leave us the, the ASIN, MSKU, that sort of thing, what it should be, what you're seeing that is wrong, and then we can definitely get that.
Yeah, or any screenshots as well, so to help explain. Super helpful.
Okay, let's see. All right, what have we got next? Okay.
DG88?
Yes.
Okay. So on the monthly tax report, which number am I supposed to report to my state for taxes?
So I'm guessing you're talking like for your sales tax, that sort of thing. Maybe clarify that a little bit, but the monthly tax report, the sales tax report that you'll see in your account is information from Amazon, because Amazon is collecting the sales tax and remitting it to the governing agency for you, because they collect all those taxes since most of the states, except for Missouri now, I think. And that'll change in 2023 when they come on board. But the marketplace facilitator tax that you see in the tax report as well, that's Amazon paying the governing agency that's wherever the item was sold. So they take care of that, but we don't, that's something probably for your accountant or CPA, and that's just informational only in Inventory Lab. So you're going to have to go to your Amazon account and Seller Central to get those records. I can't really give you any tax advice here, so unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Wendy wants to know, when using unlisted inventory, is it possible to print an identifying label for the items? Once they are prepped, you can't see what's in the box. This would make me so #happy. I see what you did there, Wendy.
Clever.
We've had a lot of people request the ability to do this. The thing is, so when you're printing labels in Inventory Lab, it has an FN SKU on it. Unfortunately, when something is unlisted, it won't have an FN SKU on it yet. But We do have requests in. I'll add your name to the request so we can show that we have more users interested in this. But it is an existing user suggestion, feature suggestion, and request that we do have on the burner. So thanks for reaching out about that, Wendy. Because the more users that we can show that are interested in these features, the more likely they are to be implemented. So thank you. But as of right now, this is not a feature, unfortunately. Let's see.
Okay, let's see what we got next. All right, Mitch wants to know, says, still seeing no shipping fees attached to listed books. So I cannot set a pricing rule. I know you addressed this on the last live event. Sorry.
No shipping fee. I don't recall this one. So you're not seeing a shipping fee. You mean when you're listing it into a batch? Is that what you mean? Or if you could clarify that a little bit, Mitch, I'm not following, to be honest. Oh, and Amazon FBA?
And Amazon FBA, yeah.
So in Seller Central is what you're...
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for my, I'm just thinking through this. That would be a Seller Central question, unless I'm misunderstanding. If you're seeing the items in Seller Central on your list of items and your inventory page is there, and it's not showing the shipping fee, that would be something for them. I'm just trying to, let me open up a Seller Central page here and see if we can, I know you sell books, but let's see. All right. So you're talking about, well, these are all inactive, but is this what you're talking about? Seeing the price plus shipping here?
Oh, Mitch actually says, sorry, that is for my repricer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks for clarifying.
Trying to help, but yeah, okay. Thanks.
That's okay. Okay. Catherine has a question. What happens when I send in 100 units and Amazon only receive 98? Maybe they reimburse, maybe they do not. How do I adjust inventory correctly? It is usually for faster shipping than required so far.
Oh, I think that was related to the news that we shared.
Oh, that I see. Gotcha.
The buy shipping service.
Sorry, Catherine. So just this then.
Okay, so I mean, that's a good use of the inventory alerts. If you've got all your stuff and you're keeping track of this, and then you see one of these alerts, that's one of the reasons these were built in, and so you can tell. So Amazon's showing 5 active, but we see 6 in Inventory Lab. So where did that 6th one go? You're going to see what happens to the units that you send in by clicking on this little eye. And so it'll show an order number, or it'll show a reimbursement, or it'll show a refund. I wouldn't do too many. If Amazon only received 98 and you've opened up a ticket with them because you've checked back, you see that you do have that discrepancy. Yep, I sent in 98. It shows on my my shipment. You can go to, see if I can find a shipment in our test account. These are all usually fake ones. So, But you can go to contents after it's already been processed, and over here, units expected. So if you sent in a certain number, but you're seeing they only checked in, they checked in less, maybe they checked in 2 less, and that's why you're only seeing 98 in there. That's definitely a ticket to open up. There's really not a good way to keep track of that except for leaving that alert where it is, because once you get a reimbursement, because reimbursements take a while for Amazon to process, but once you get a reimbursement, we'll also show that there, and then that will adjust that inventory alert, and it will show you that those were taken care of, and then that'll go away. So I guess that's one way to keep track of these discrepancies. So you wouldn't want to make any adjustments because you'd want to let it play out, because they're definitely going to have to reimburse you. But I definitely open up a ticket with Seller Central and tell them, the shipment ID, I sent in, 10 of this item, but they only checked in, says they received 8, but there were 10 in there. And then what you can do is, if they want proof, you can go to your inbound shipping page under accounting. And then if you click on the shipment ID here, it will generate a PDF. And you can't, obviously we don't send these in. So this one didn't have box contents assigned, but it would say box 1. This would be how many were in there. And if there was another box, it would list it all out for you. And so you can provide that to them as proof of how many you say you sent in. They can either accept that or not. It is Amazon. So if that happens, let's say, for example, that they decide that they're not going to reimburse you, and they say, nope, you only sent us 8. So then once that process with Amazon is all done, and you're not going to get those 2 added back into your account, what you do is come back to your purchase quantity, and this is for that batch that was, say, shipped in that shipment for those items. You thought you sent in 5, Amazon's saying you sent in 3, and that's what they're going to stick with. You just adjust the purchase quantity to 3, and then that will even out that alert. And then make sure you take those 2 and you adjust or account for those into your other expenses. You could say maybe lost items or something like that, and keep track of the buy cost from right here, and then just enter that as another expense and categorize it as a lost item, for example, and that'll show up on your profit and loss, so that you're also accounting for the loss on those items. So I hope that helps.
Okay. All right. Dave has a question. Is there or will there be a way in the future to see fees for small and light items when using the research tool? Currently, you only see it after adding the item, but not when researching.
Yeah, the small and light, we're looking into adding that. I know we've been working on that for a while, but we are aware of it. And so, yeah, hopefully we want to add that so that those are calculated correctly, and we do have that information. I'm not sure if it's in the API. I'm not aware enough about that part of it. So if it's in the API, I know that they were going to add some things that are going to be coming available, because Amazon's changing all that again. And so the feeds and the reports and everything that we use, it's going to be changing within the next year. So companies like ours have had to kind of hustle to get things changed up and use the new reports. But yeah, we are aware of the small and light. They're not coming through until you actually sell those.
Okay. Any other questions? We have a few minutes, so if anybody has any other questions, that'd be great. Yeah, and Dave is saying it would be helpful, as Amazon has raised small and light from $7 to $8 now. So
Wow.
that's quite an increase.
They don't make enough money.
Yeah. Any other questions? And remember, if you haven't, If you haven't put your name in for a chance to win the swag, we're going to be doing that in just a minute. Just answer the question, what makes you happy, in the comments with #happy.
Oh, Mitch has a question.
Yep. When I'm closing a batch and finalizing the shipment, I then receive a pop-up telling me that I'm including inventory that I cannot sell. This is after I've finalized everything. What do I do at that point? Up to now, I just go ahead and send and then deal with it. How do I go back into the shipment somehow to remove the item?
Yeah, so if you have shipments in working status, that's why we always say to make sure you wait until you get that green success box down here that says the box contents, was sent. But you can go to your shipment, click on the little hamburger icon, box content information, and then you can click the trash can to remove the item or click in here and adjust the quantity. And that'll automatically adjust it in Seller Central as well, so you only have to do it in one spot. If you adjust it in Seller Central, you'll have to come back and adjust it here as well. So it's easier to just make those changes in Inventory Lab. So pretty simple, pretty easy.
Okay. And then Coach, real quick, says, what would be the benefit of using Inventory Lab instead of Seller Central to send in shipments?
Well, you're keeping track of your costs as you add items into a batch. Do you use this for the batch entry and then upload your shipping plan? Some people do that, especially if they have a prep center, because the prep center doesn't use Inventory Lab. So they'll work in Seller Central to create your shipments. But the big benefit is you're printing labels as you're adding items to the batch, plus you're keeping track of your buy cost, supplier, purchase date, that sort of thing. Otherwise, you'd have to keep track of all that in a separate program. So that's the big benefit right there. I think our process too is pretty seamless when you create a shipment. And as far as the box content, we make it pretty easy to assign to boxes, create new boxes, those sorts of things.
Scan to pack. I love scan to pack.
Scan to pack. Yeah, when you have a FN SKU label, or even if you're using no label shipments, scan the item as you're packing it. It'll automatically assign it to the box, streamlines the shipment. So those are several ways. But yeah, if you're not only using this for the profits, yeah, you definitely want to at least use the batch process and then look up how to upload a shipping plan to make your shipments in Seller Central if you prefer to do it there. But at least that way you're keeping track of the buy costs, and then your sales will show that buy cost for you, and you don't have to do everything in Seller Central and then come back in and then add in the buy cost to those items, because it's much easier to put items into a batch, add the buy cost as you're listing, and then we add all that to your items on your inventory page for you and the replenishment rows if that's what you're sending in. Otherwise, you'd have to come in, create a row, add that information for each item in that shipment. So that would be pretty tedious, where this is kind of an all-in-one. Yeah, Coach, we can definitely, look for those customer coaching sessions to come up here soon. I think, what were we thinking, within this month? That's our goal.
Yeah, within this month for sure.
But if you want to reach out to support, Coach, we can get you the articles, although you could look under resources, help center, and just look up the quick start guide, and that'll walk you through how to create the batch all the way through creating your shipments. That's a pretty good article. There's one for merchant fulfilled, one for private, and one if you want to do live batches. So
yeah, our live batch is probably the most seamless workflow that we have, and that actually creates live listings as soon as you scan it in Inventory Lab and adds it to a shipment for you and everything. So it kind of is the private way, but automated. So gets rid of a bunch of extra steps. See
All
if
right.
we have
Well,
any more
looks like we are
questions.
out of time. So I think
Yeah,
it's
holy
we gotta
cow.
it's 5 o'clock. So I apologize. Anybody whose questions we didn't get to, you can always contact us at support at inventorylab.com with any additional questions.
All right. Are we ready?
We are ready.
So
Ready.
here we go. All right, here it goes.
Mitch.
Mitch,
Mitch Fredericks.
congratulations.
So yeah, just reach out to us at support@inventorylab.com. And we
Yes.
will send you.
Yeah, just send us your mailing address and we'll get you a swag box out. So if you see your name again, you didn't win again. This is just the way this does with StreamYard. It sometimes repeats. So we'll gonna draw for another swag box. Here we go.
All right. Tommy boy.
Tommy boy.
Good
Congratulations.
movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Not as great as Red House, but
That's right.
really good.
But what is? Yeah.
Nothing.
All right,
You're
Tommy
right.
boy.
Absolutely nothing.
Send us your address.
Congratulations, Tommy
support@inventorylab.com.
boy. Yeah.
And then we have the grand prize, $50 gift certificate to Amazon. This one, just send us your email address where you want it sent. So here we go.
Patrick, congratulations.
W.
All right, Patrick, congrats.
So you're the winner of our $50 gift card. Just shoot us an email at support@inventorylab.com with the email address you'd like us to send your gift card to, and we can get that to you ASAP.
It's probably no coincidence that he's got the same first name as our hero.
As our hero?
Patrick Swayze, you know, might be.
No, don't. People are going to think it's rigged.
Yeah. This is totally random. You can see him just
That's right.
click and draw again. So
I'm not saying if
Right.
someone comes on with a username of like Patrick Swayze that you won't win all the prizes.
My name's
Saying
Dalton.
that.
I'm Wade. All right. All right. Well,
my
thanks everybody
goodness.
for joining us. I ran a little over, but
Yes, thank you,
Wendy,
everybody.
I can answer yours real quick. Look up the velocity report in our support portal, and it has information on how to set up lead times for your inventory, so we can notify you when you're getting close and when you should reorder and that sort of thing. So, anyway, thanks Kim, thanks Andrea.
Thank
See you in a couple weeks.
See you guys in a couple
yeah.
weeks.
See you all later.
Bye.
Bye.